Welcome to Week in Geek, your new comics preview for March 14th, 2012. I'm Mike Ortiz.
And I'm the Chris Brown.
What do you got?
Hey, good to have you back.
Yeah.
For the start of our second year here. So this week, and you know what, I'd also like to give a little shout out to Stephen Mitchell over at Royal Oak High. Apparently he's got a bunch of the guys over there watching the show.
Oh, nice.
So shout out to those fellas.
Hey, guys.
All right, now I want to start the week off here with Saucer Country #1. This is a Vertigo title by Paul Cornell with art by Ryan Kelly. The art looks pretty good. It's I'm into the alien books right now. Apparently, I'm liking that Xenoholics, and then this is sort of the Resident Alien issue.
Okay.
With, well, Americans are actually aliens.
Okay.
Oh, well, all right then. So it looks like it's going to have a little weirdness with a little political commentary at the same time.
All right.
I'm into it. Sounds good. Then we've got issue #2 of the wildly successful Adventure Time, which is completely sold out, the first issue.
A lot of hype, a lot of attention on this book.
It's exactly like the cartoon. It's like reading an episode of the cartoon. It was really, really fun and funny. The artwork is freaking fantastic. It's Adventure Time. It's Jake and Finn. If you don't get enough on Cartoon Network, you can get your fix in the funny pages here. Then we've got Avengers #1, or Avengers Assemble #1. This is the new Bendis Avengers title. Yep. It's supposed to be like the core. Basically, it's the movie.
It's the movie characters.
It's the movie characters on a team. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever. The art looks great.
They got a movie coming.
Who's doing that? Oh, Mark Bagley.
Bendis and Bagley.
Yeah.
Great team.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
And you know this one's going to come out on time.
Yeah, Bendis usually does. Well, now he's not doing five other Avengers titles.
Bagley always gets his books out on time. He's the only guy, yeah.
Good for him. Well, then we got another Bendis book, Avengers.
With no assemble.
No assemble. They're not assembling.
A disassembled Avengers.
This looks like it's more a focus on Norman and his Dark Avengers and what's going on there. Hulked out Norman. Doesn't look good. The artwork is fantastic. You got Daniel Acuna. Looks great. More fun from the Avengers and more fun from...
Expect a lot of Avengers in the coming months.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got a movie, is it, a month and a half away at this point? So, yeah, they're going to be inundated with lots of Avengers. Then we've got yet another one of these Planet of the Apes books from Boom. This is Exile on the Planet of the Apes. And was this supposed to be another Zaius story?
Yeah, isn't this continuing after
I believe it
Zaius
is.
Adventures?
Right after Betrayal of the Planet of the Apes. I think this picks up right after it. Yeah, it looks like we got Zira there. Or is that Zira? Looks a lot like her. Yeah, great stuff. Boom is doing a great job with the Planet of the Apes. I can't complain. Loving it. Having a good time with it. Then we've got Incredible Hulk #6 from Marvel over here. Good book. I like it. Jason Aaron's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Does Jason Aaron have a title yet?
Does.
We did give him a card?
Yeah, he's moved up in the world.
Because we're reading pretty much everything he's doing now at this point. Well, he's writing so many things.
I got one in here, too.
So, great stuff. It looks like, what do we got? Post-Portasio doing pencils.
Didn't they reveal who split them apart, finally?
Was that in the last issue? I missed the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I missed the last one.
They've actually explained who.
Okay.
I've been pretty good. I've 6 issues in. I haven't picked up the Hulk.
You've not at all.
Every week I look at it and go, no, we broke up.
But baby, he promises to get better.
I've heard that before.
Then we've got Infestation, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, admittedly, I'm not really reading much of the Infestation. I'm not reading any of the Infestation stuff. I don't read a lot of those books. I was reading some of the G.I. Joe, but I didn't necessarily read the Infestation crossover. But, this is Turtles.
Turtles.
I've been enjoying the heck out of the Turtles, and if it's going to be Turtles fighting monsters of some kind, the artwork looks pretty fantastic here.
I didn't read...
Who is this on the art? Mark Torres.
I didn't read the first Infestation, but I thought it was one where you could just read the G.I. Joe stuff.
Okay.
And not have to read everything. So if that's the case, and this is like that's the way that I like a crossover, because that way now you don't have to read everything, and you're not going to be getting an issue and only getting like the third part of the story. I always hate that.
Yeah, that's no fun. I just want to read Turtles, and I just want to see what this is doing to Turtles. That's it. That's all. That's my primary interest.
Infested Turtles. That's all you need.
Good enough. Then we have issue 3 of Scarlet Spider. I am also behind on this book.
Yeah.
I am caught up on a number of things. Right now, I'm at the things I'm not caught up on. But I plan to get caught up. We're still doing this one. This book looks really cool. I'm hearing great things about it.
Yeah, nice artwork.
Yeah,
I like this costume.
I like Kane Doesn't look, all burly and crazy anymore. They kind of made it a little bit more reasonable, and I see where that's going. I'm kind of curious. Now, this is a book I'm loving. The Shade is your walk through the New 52. He's got his own mission, what he's trying to accomplish, but he keeps wandering into other people's neck of the woods, and you kind of get a little taste of what's going on throughout the New 52. If you liked Starman, if you liked James Robinson, if you liked The Shade, and you're curious about what's going on in the rest of the New 52, this is a great book. This is a great, almost like a little atlas that you get a great fun story, and The Shade's a great character. And you get a little taste of what everybody else is doing and kind of get caught up on what everyone else is up to.
Some really nice rotating artists. I mean, a lot of guys that you aren't...
Who do we have on this? Javier Pulido.
You aren't going to get these guys a lot of times on a monthly book. I mean, you've had, Cully Hamner. We've had Darwin Cook.
Yep. That was a great one, too. That one was fantastic.
Really good, but very consistent set of artists, too.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the inevitable hardcover on that. That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay, and you know that. It'll be a nice thick one, too, 12 issues.
It'll go on the shelf right next to the Starman Omnibus.
Oh, nice. So next we've got The Strange Talent of Luther Strode, number 6. This is one I'm sad to see end.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping this gets picked up. This has been a fun book. It's almost like I've compared it a little bit to Invincible. The artwork feels similar. It's really violent. Really, crazy violent. But an interesting story, Basically, a kid orders one of those Charles Atlas Make Yourself Strong books, and it turns out it's actually an alien tome that is supposed to turn him into some violent character. There's a legacy. There's a librarian who's trying to keep things in order, and lots of punching through people's faces and heads.
Okay. Interesting.
And then we've got Thief of Thieves, number 2, by Robert Kirkman and Nick Spencer. I liked the first issue. I thought it was really, really cool. I liked the kind of... It's not straight-up spy stuff, but it's a really cool thief movie from the 60s. I really, really dug it. I'm looking to see where the rest of it's going. They basically just showed you how the team gets together in the first one. I'm expecting this one to get cooking. Really dug that quite a bit. That is the majority of my stack. What do you got there?
Well, I'm going to get this out of the way right at the beginning. Fantastic Four. One of our favorite books on the show, Jonathan Hickman. In the last issue, we had all that stuff with the Celestials and Galactus, and at the end, future Franklin and Valeria pop up, and this is continuing that. I mean, this is really Hickman's been building towards this for a long time. Looks like we got more Galactus, we got more Celestials, we got more stuff, and it looks like we actually do get the resolution of that story, and now we jump on to whatever he's got next. Hickman has announced that he is leaving the book.
Which is a bummer.
A bummer, but I'm glad he's leaving now while it's still a good book, rather than a lot of creators will stay on a couple of years past their time and sort of running in the ground. At the end of the day, we're going to have one nice, really great Hickman FF omnibus, and the whole thing's going to be good.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be one story from beginning to end, and
so I'm
good with that.
I mean, he's done his thing on the Fantastic Four. He's left his mark. It's a great mark. So
indeed,
I will stick with it. We'll see who follows up. I kind of feel bad for whoever's following this up because
big shoes to fill.
Definitely. Next up, Captain America. This is continuing the more superhero version. We've got the superhero in this. We've got the retro stuff, the old look back in Captain America and Bucky, and then the espionage in Winter Soldier. This has got fantastic Alan Davis art, which is completely perfect for this story. It's got the Machine Smith. It's dealing with the Mad Bomb, which comes from when Kirby was on the book. So this is really just a classic, good old-fashioned Captain America story. If you like that Captain America, which a lot of people don't. A lot of people actually prefer the more espionage stuff. That you got Winter Soldier for this. But if you're a longtime Cap fan and you want some good old-fashioned Captain America fighting robots, and it's got the Falcon in it, and it's got
Brubaker's done a great job with powers.
The Falcon. Really, really solid book. Really good classic. The way that Daredevil is kind of throwing back to classic Bronze Age Daredevil is throwing back to classic Captain America.
Awesome.
Next up, the next Jason Aaron book, Wolverine and the X-Men. This has been a really fun ride.
That's what I hear.
This has been a lot of fun. We got some some kind of space alien dude running through the new X mansion, running through the school, chasing Kitty Pryde and chasing the little brood kid, while Kitty Pryde has been infected with microscopic broods, and the rest of the X-Men have shrunk down in a what is that movie where they shrink down in the ship and travel?
Fantastic Voyage.
Fantastic Voyage. Just swimming around in her system, fighting microscopic broods. Really
That's
strange.
the second Fantastic Voyage reference I've been party to this week.
Really?
Yes.
Very strange. So yeah, I mean, this is a complete 180 from what I expected from Jason Aaron, whose work on Scalped and his work on just the regular Wolverine and Ghost Rider is always very dark. And this is really very, I mean, even though it's kind of life and death situations, it's very kind of lighthearted and fun, and there's a lot of jokes, and it's really, really a good ride. And I got to tell you, this Nick Bradshaw guy is doing a fantastic job on the artwork.
Okay.
I actually prefer his work to
it looks fun.
To Chris Bichello's.
It's a little more focused.
Yeah, it's a little bit more traditional, classic comic book stuff. They've opened up the color a little bit, a lot of detail, very Art Adams. This is really a fun book. I never would have thought that I'd be, all up on a Wolverine book and a Jason Aaron book, but it's been really good. Next up, X-Men Aftermath, more John Byrne goodness. This is
so glad to have that book back.
This is an interesting book. Byrne talked about this. I guess some of the element when he first planned this story out years ago, this was going to be much longer. It's dealing with when the X-Men came back, there was a lot of time travel stuff. They apparently, with all of their travels through time, messed things up, broke the universe. Now time is colliding, and they're going to have to fix things. This is actually very similar to the Doctor Who episodes that were on recently. Byrne wrote this years ago, but hadn't gotten to it. The Doctor Who thing came out, pretty much lifted a lot of his ideas. Byrne had to rewrite this so people would not think he was ripping off Doctor Who. But it's still great stuff. The art is back, spot on. It's just a lot of fun.
Great book.
It's throwbacky, but not in a bad way.
Yes.
Next up, Unwritten. This has been a great book.
Is this the end of the story? It looks like $4.99.
Yeah, this may be the big conclusion. Looks like it, but this has been great stuff. We've been singing the praises of this book all along. This is alternating between the story set in the present. Previous issue had a little bit of the information about Wilson Taylor, how he sort of learned of his ability to turn fiction into reality. But in this one, Tommy's heading for the truth, heading for the thing that's behind everything, and we're going to see we're finally getting some payoff.
If you're a literature person, this is a comic you should be reading.
Indeed, definitely. Next up, Green Lantern. This has also been a great book. We're actually getting to the Secrets of the Indigo Tribe. Now, I've not been a big fan of a lot of the goings-on with the multiple Lantern Corps and things like that. I think it kind of got stretched a little bit thin after Blackest Night and during Blackest Night. But this is a story that I've been wanting to find out about. The Indigo Tribe was the last of the Colored Lanterns to be revealed. We still don't know much about them.
I don't know anything about them.
So now we're going to, I think, get their origins and find out their secrets. And I'm really interested in that. I mean, this is the type of thing that Jeff Johns is really good at, dangling something for a while and then giving you a payoff, and usually the payoff comes with another question. That's just what he does. Next up, Resurrection Man. This is, again, a really solid book. An unexpected book. And in the last few issues, they've started kind of giving you some backstory. We didn't know who he was, why he had this ability, but now they're kind of showing you, where just hints of where it came from. In the last issue, he was in Arkham Asylum. Batman was there, so they're definitely integrating him a little bit more fully into the DC universe, and giving you a little bit of explanation as to who he is and where he came from.
They've been doing a lot of those crossovers. I noticed a lot of them seem to concern Batman.
Yes, definitely. Batman's popping up a lot in the new DC.
Hey, we need to sell a book. Put Batman in it.
It's almost like he's got a movie coming up too. But that's my stack.
All right, I guess that brings me to the top of my stack here, which is issue 2 of a book that I think was in the top of my stack when the first issue came out. This is Peter Panzerfaust issue 2 by Curtis Weeb and Tyler Jenkins. It's Peter Pan in World War II. They announced it isn't ongoing. Mm-hmm. First issue sold out everywhere. Yeah. I had a guy looking for it on, I think, yesterday, actually, and I sort of laughed. I was like, well, the second print doesn't really come. Second print, good luck finding the first one unless you want to spend the money for it. It was a low-printed book, a really, really cool book. It was one of those things that, what I find is, a lot of times when Image kind of gives you little previews of some of these books, those are the ones that obviously people are more excited about. They gave you that little preview in Walking Dead of Chew. People flipped out. Nobody had enough Chew. Peter Panzerfaust, you were getting little previews and all kinds of stuff. I think it was in Walking Dead and, of course, Green Wake and all that other stuff that they were already doing. But a cool book. I really, really liked that first issue, and it's just basically kind of putting together his Lost Boys, so to speak, and I don't know, kind of cool stuff.
Peter Pan fighting Nazis?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
how did I love that? Yeah, that's great stuff. Great stuff. What Grim Leaper. Chris J. Weeb's got another thing.
Yeah.
That looks like fun.
They're knocking some books out there at Image. It's a good year for Image.
Looks like there's a preview in there. So much like I said. All right. Look out for that one.
So expect that to sell out too. And while we're on the Image bandwagon, I'll do my top pick. Mine is Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples' Saga. People have been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah.
The return of Brian K. Vaughan to comics. He left to go be a TV writer for a while.
Yep.
I personally never read Why the Last Man.
Amazing
I
stuff.
started it, heard it was a great book. I loved Ex Machina and Pride of Baghdad.
I started that, never finished it. Pride of Baghdad I liked.
So this is his return to Monthly Comics Saga. It's a science fiction book. I know almost nothing beyond that. I've kind of kept my... I mean, as soon as I found out it was Brian K. Vaughan, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to give this a shot. I don't need to know. But obviously it's a saga of some kind. It's got a dude with horns and a lady with wings.
Sounds good to me.
So I think it's going to be a little bit different than Ex Machina and Why the Last Man. A little bit more embedded into some serious sci-fi fantasy. Great stuff. He's a great writer. Pick this book up. This is really, we've been hearing a lot about Image coming out of the Image Expo. There's a lot of and while Image has got a lot of great books like Peter Panzerfaust and Grim Leaper and a lot of really cool books by some small-time creators. They've got some big guns. Really starts off with Brubaker. Grant Morrison has got some stuff there. Hickman's got more stuff coming out. Frank Quitely is doing a book there. Mark Miller. Really this year they are getting some top-notch talent who have absolutely no restraints on them. They don't have to worry about being consistent with a movie. They don't have to worry about crossing over with a big event.
And Image
they
discovered
can do their
so much
thing.
of this talent.
Yeah, so
the Image gave a lot of these guys their first break, and that was one thing they kind of set out of the expo. Look at a guy like Hickman. Mm-hmm. He accepted their creator-owned deal. Nightly News took off. Look where he's at now.
Yeah.
And he's coming back and doing some great creator-owned stuff over at Image, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So Brian K. Vaughan coming back and doing a creator-owned book is a big deal, pretty awesome deal.
A big deal, and I'm sure it's going to be a great book. So definitely check it out if you're a fan of sci-fi, if you're a fan of good comics. Give it a shot.
Absolutely. And what was the other one that I wanted to call out? I wanted to call out
Mark Twain.
The Mark Twain mystery book by IDW this week has art by Minton in it, friend of the show. Great stuff. I was looking through that and blew me away. Yeah, I think they're doing a really cool thing with those IDW books.
Yeah, and also this week is the latest version of the DC Universe stories by Alan Moore.
Nice hardcover.
Gorgeous hardcover. Basically, it's got all the stuff that's all the one-offs. On the miniseries, it's got some voodoo stuff, which is new to this edition. They've done a couple of versions of this. They've got the stuff he wrote for Green Lantern, the stuff he wrote for Superman. All the stuff that when Alan Moore was still kind of a pretty standard mainstream comic book writer who wrote regular comic books.
It has For the Man Who Has Everything, which you saw adapted in Justice League
Fantastic
Unlimited.
Stuff.
Whatever Happened to the World Tomorrow, or The Man Tomorrow.
If you are a fan of Alan Moore, as many of you are, and you don't have the stuff in this collection, check it out because it's some really great early work by them.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And that is your Week in Geek.